Tonight on CTV News at 6, a local Olympian at the center of curling controversy.
I don't think there's ever been this much coverage in curling, ever.
The sport rocked by a cheating allegation and the response to it.
Oh no, oh Annabelle!
Family Day in Edmonton.
This is where Family Day began in 1990.
And
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Legendary actor Robert Duvall has died.
A major snowstorm set to move across the province tonight and through the day tomorrow. We have snowfall warnings and winter storm warnings. We'll give you a timeline on the storm, tell you how much snow to expect in just a few minutes.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. A large section of Castle Downs Road is shut down this hour for a police investigation. The road is closed between 100th and 112th Streets. Police tape surrounds much of the area. Our cameras captured what appear to be bullet holes in an SUV on the driver's side. The driver and passenger doors were left wide open. We'll bring you more information as we learn more about this developing story. Canada's curling controversy is the talk of the Olympics right now, with St. Albert curler Mark Kennedy at the center of it all. As Jeremy Thompson found out, Kennedy's alleged poke and subsequent swear-riddled outburst are a touchy subject at his home rink.
It was just another round-robin draw for the Canadian men's curling team until an incident late in Friday's game.
I don't think there's ever been this much coverage in curling, ever.
Alberta curling legend Randy Ferbey says the showdown between Canada's Mark Kennedy and Sweden's Oscar Eriksson and the accusation that sparked it is all anyone in his circles is talking about.
It's so far from cheating that it's ridiculous, but it is an infraction. But that infraction is almost impossible to call.
Sweden claims Kennedy gave his rock an extra illegal push as he released it. CTV can only show still images of Olympic action, but at least one video replay out there appears to show Kennedy poking the granite part of the rock. Ferbey believes the contact would not have impacted the shot, and it's Kennedy's profanity-laced defense that has captured curiosity beyond curling fans.
We Canadians are pretty proud, and we think we do no wrong a lot of times. And we do. I mean, it was the emotions got to Mark a little bit. He blew up, and I know he regrets it.
Kennedy has expressed regret over his outburst, and the Canadians got a verbal warning from World Curling about the language. Management at Kennedy's home rink in St. Albert declined comment and politely asked CTV to leave.
I think that tells you right there. If they don't want to talk about it, that means they had an issue with his outburst. And that's okay. I mean, Mark's human. I know him quite well.
In its statement, World Curling also clarified that during forward motion, touching the granite of the stone is not allowed. This will result in the stone being removed from play. No infractions were observed for the rest of that game, but multiple other rocks have been removed from play in other matches in the days since. Video review is not currently allowed in curling, and Ferbey says players typically umpire themselves, even at the highest levels.
I don't know what the answer is, but obviously you got to address this because it could get ugly in time. People are not going to forget this.
Despite the distraction, the men's team is expected to play for a medal later this week. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
We'll have highlights for Canada on day 10 of the Winter Olympics a little later in the newscast. A new centre is opening in our city to help people with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Its founder not only saw a need, but the benefits of having various ADHD services under one roof. Amanda Anderson reports.
As a mother of children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, Yara Shabtai knows firsthand how difficult navigating the health system can be.
We went to see different clinicians at different places. First of all, it was very busy. It was also very fragmented. The clinicians were not talking to each other, and nobody made sure that we have one integrated plan that we can follow.
As she became educated about ADHD and the tools that helped her own family, she knew it was something she wanted to share.
I was just so amazed of how things have shifted in my own family and how things changed in our family dynamic, in the environment. We have much less tension. So I wanted other people to experience it too.
She created the new NeuroWise Edmonton ADHD Center that gives people with ADHD access to the services and professionals they may need in one place.
The whole ecosystemic approach is a pretty new approach to client care. Clinicians understand that there has to be something that is connected, that is integrated in order to support every aspect of a person's life, especially in ADHD, because ADHD affects all area of life.
Services at the new center are not currently covered by Alberta Health, only by private health insurance.
But it is something that we think about a lot, and we do think about how to make it more affordable for everyone.
There are currently 7 specialists working at the center, from psychologists to dietitians, with more to be added in the near future.
I come almost every morning and I open the door and I have chills and I have tears in my eyes because I'm very excited to see it come through.
The ADHD Center's official opening is this Saturday. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Downtown Business Association says patios will start disappearing from the core if the city goes ahead with a steep licensing fee increase. A railed-in patio taking up just a portion of the sidewalk is set to cost $500. A higher fee will apply to patios that take up either a lane of parking or require a boardwalk in a parking lane. Those will soon cost $3,700 for a seasonal patio, $6,900 for a year-round one. In December, the DBA wrote to City Council asking it to suspend the plan. It says more than a dozen businesses say the increased cost would mean patios would not be viable.
It goes back to the structural budget variances that the city is facing, and we've only got a few ways to increase our revenue, and that's either with provincial grants, which have gone down the wayside, user fees, or property tax increases.
The city says this is a shared investment model, meaning the city is covering about half the cost of the patio program with businesses. The new fees take effect in April. The new federal electric vehicle rebate program began today. While many EV advocates say it's a good move to boost sales, some business analysts expect sales in Alberta to stall. Gates Guarin reports.
What's old is new again. Canadians will see the return of electric vehicle rebates after the federal government paused the program just last year.
With the cost of living crisis that we're in, anything that the government can do to help move this along, we see as a good thing.
The move is a part of the Fed's new strategy to boost EV sales in Canada. The program will give buyers up to $5,000 for battery electric cars and up to $2,500 for plug-in hybrids. Advocates for EVs in Alberta say it's a welcome restart.
We see countries like China. Their new EV sales are over 40% already. For Norway, 90% of all electrical vehicle sales are EV. So we've got a lot of catching up to do.
The market saw a decline in EV sales soon after the rebate program was paused. A business analytics professor at the University of Alberta says the incentives should cause a short-term spike.
The contraction is basically on EV because the overall market still stay at a stable level. So we can tell that this is specifically because of the rebate, the pause, the removal of this program.
But even with a rebate, there are still barriers to getting more EVs out on the roads, even more so here in the province.
Canada-wide, 14% of all new vehicles are EVs, but what we're seeing in Alberta is around 4%.
AMA points to provinces like Ontario and BC having provincial rebates along federal ones to help drive purchases. No such incentive exists in Alberta. Infrastructure also remains an issue. AMA says only around 1,500 charging stations exist province-wide.
If I compare that to BC, they're sitting well over 8,000, and in Quebec, well over 10,000. So fear around a range anxiety and ability to charge is problematic here because, frankly, there just aren't enough charging points.
And with change in policy at the federal level, electric vehicles having a sustainable market may be a long way down the road.
So this will definitely delay their decision making because they have no idea whether this kind of incentives will stay for a long time.
Gates Guarin, CTV News, Edmonton.
Family Day festivities took over parts of the Alberta Legislature grounds today with a nod to the history of the holiday.
This is where Family Day began in 1990 with Premier Getty. It was the first time that Family Day started across the country. We now have more provinces that celebrate with us, but today and here on this site is where it all started.
Return of wintry weather made for a cozy community gathering. There were no lines at the kids' coloring stations, while a magician warmed up the crowd. Balloon artists and street performers helped families celebrate the holiday. The village at Griesbaugh was the perfect place for some families looking to get out and enjoy a little winter fun. The Family Day event celebrated all things winter with ice carving stations, pond skating, and of course a sweet Canadian tradition, fresh maple taffy.
So good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part? Tell me about it.
This is very good. The maple syrup. Yeah, the maple syrup.
Yeah?
It's actually great, right? Especially with the kids, have the chance to bring them out and enjoy some time outside. It's always great.
Ethan Hunter, the Oilers mascot, took part in the festivities. The Al Rashid Mosque won't be offering its services during this extreme weather response because of Ramadan. The city activated the response today as it anticipates temperatures below minus 20 degrees Celsius. The mosque usually provides overflow shelter, but won't be this time. People needing to warm up during the day can use city facilities like the library and rec centers. Overnight, a third shuttle to homeless shelters will be added. The extreme weather response is expected to last until Friday. All right, Josh, winter's back. Where would you like to begin with this?
I mean, you saw all the Family Day festivities, and this was almost a perfect winter day. I mean, the last 2 weeks have been nice, 7s and 8s for daytime highs, but this was great, right? -5, -6-ish midday, a little bit of light snow falling. It's about to get a whole lot colder, though, and before that cold air settles in, we got a big, big snowstorm coming our way. Take a look at almost the entire map of Alberta has warnings on it. There are a couple spots in the southeast corner and through the Jasper region that don't have warnings, up around Peace River as well. But in the extreme north, high level, north of Fort McMurray, cold warning. Wind chill in the -40s tonight and tomorrow morning. Probably for the next couple of mornings, to be honest. Snowfall warning for all the areas in red. In general, there'll be a couple spots that get 10 to 15 centimeters. In general, most of that red zone gets about 15 to 30 centimeters of snow, maybe a bit more in a couple isolated pockets. And then 15 to 30 centimeters, maybe close to 40 in east central Alberta, and gusts to around 70 kilometers per hour for that winter storm warning. So here in Edmonton, we're not under the winter storm warning. We're just under a snowfall warning. It is going to be breezy. You will have some blowing snow, but the wind won't be as bad as what you have in that purple zone. If you can stay off highways later tonight and through the day tomorrow in that purple area especially, that's going to be your best bet. It's already snowing, although the wind hasn't really picked up to its full intensity just yet, just north of Calgary, but you can see it is sneaking towards the south end of the city. So by the time we get to about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, snow will be here, and it probably doesn't move out until about 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow night. It's -10, wind chill -15 right now. Take a look at the next 24 hours. -15 tomorrow morning, feeling in the mid-20s. So you got a whole bunch of snow on the ground, 15 to maybe as much as 30 centimeters by the end of the day, and wind chill by late tomorrow in the -30 range. And then it gets even colder into Wednesday, Thursday. Take a closer look at that in a couple minutes.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, a car strikes a stroller.
There's 2 parents who lost their 2-year-old child today.
Calgary police investigating the city's 7th traffic fatality of the year. And
we created the tournament not just for family and community, but to teach kids to think about others that aren't as fortunate.
Another successful Stollery Family Day Classic.
The CTV drone powered by Century Casino. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
An Alberta family is enduring an unthinkable tragedy after a 2-year-old in a stroller was struck and killed by a vehicle while crossing the street. It happened in a marked crosswalk. As CTV's Tyler Barrow reports, some are calling for improvements, while others say drivers need to be more vigilant.
A family outing turned tragic Sunday afternoon. Around 4:30, a Jeep was turning at the intersection of Hull Avenue Southwest and Horton Road Southwest as a couple pushed a stroller through the marked crosswalk. Their toddler was hit. Gina Caudry and Anthony Salazar, along with their 1-year-old Maya, were driving home from a restaurant when they noticed a crash scene just off McLeod Trail and Heritage Drive Southwest.
We saw lights here. There was a whole bunch of police. We saw a stretcher being pulled out, and then, we were kind of confused of what was happening. We were devastated because we actually walked little Maya here like every other day.
The toddler died in hospital. Neither of the adults sustained any injuries. At this point, police say speed and impairment are not considered factors, and there's no indication distracted driving is a cause either. The driver stayed at the scene and is cooperating with investigators.
It's not only concerning, it's an absolute tragedy. There's 2 parents who lost their 2-year-old child today, and I think as a city that should be shocking and disappointing.
The city has seen 7 fatal crashes so far this year, including 3 pedestrian fatalities.
I think it's incredibly concerning at this point. To see a number as high as 7 only 6 weeks into the new year is definitely alarming. I think it's a good reminder that as we're driving and as pedestrians, we need to be aware of our surroundings. We need to be taking care of each other.
People in the area say improvements need to be made to keep pedestrians safe.
Pedestrian blinker, the yellow lights, that'd be, bare minimum.
Probably better lighting and control.
Others say drivers need to be more careful.
A lot of young people like to drive fast, and I would just say be cautious.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
The Stollery Family Day Classic has come to a close, surpassing its fundraising goal. More than 100 teams faced off to raise money for the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation's Giving Comfort program. The program supports families who have to make an emergency trip to the hospital. The tournament is also meant to help kids think of others.
We created the tournament not just for family and community, but to teach kids to think about others that aren't as fortunate, that aren't able to play hockey or be active, but also to promote active living and good health.
This year's fundraising goal was $500,000. Organizers say the tournament raised a record high $682,000. And speaking of records, these hockey players have unofficially broken the world record for the world's longest hockey game. The puck dropped on this game back on February 5th. At 6 o'clock tonight, a short time ago, they hit 261 hours of play. According to the world's longest game website, the event has surpassed its fundraising goal of $1 million for the Cross Cancer Institute. The money will go toward building a cutting-edge immunotherapy lab. Coming up, we'll take a look at the highlights on day 10 of the Olympic Games and putting Edmonton on the international stage.
I was this anomaly coming up, and we don't know what to do with you. So for me, it was like, well, I'm going to show you.
2 local artists found themselves on the receiving end of recent Juno nominations.
Not only is there a lot of snow and wind on the way over the next 24 hours, tomorrow could be one of the biggest single-day February snow events in the past half-century. Take a look at your forecast after that.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The Juno Awards are a few weeks away, and several Edmonton artists are nominated this year. Connor Hogg spoke to 2 of them who credit their success to creativity, hard work, and in one case, understanding neighbors.
This apartment is where Noella Charles worked on her latest album. It's even where she shot the cover.
Look to the side and smile. For me, it was going back to how I started initially with my first album. Whatever comes out of these, my own home sessions is, really what I'm supposed to be saying in the moment.
I got so much more, so much more, so much more. New to You is Charles' 4th solo Juno nomination for Adult Contemporary Album of the Year. Charles says she's seen Edmonton's music scene develop over the years, with more people discovering her, hence the title, New to You.
People kid that, Canadians, we make such great music because we have winter for 6 months out of the year, so we're all inside writing songs.
Edmonton rapper Arden is also nominated at the Junos this year. His album Keep Your Eye on the Sparrow is a contender for Rap Album of the Year.
I got to prove myself, or I got to prove that Edmonton belongs in a conversation that people, don't put it in. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to describe my music as like hungry.
Arden says he wants to convey that hunger.
Am I where I'm supposed to be at this age, at this point in my life, and all these different things that people worry about. But I wanted this project to be a reminder of that, of like, you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
I was this anomaly coming up, and we don't know what to do with you. So for me, it was like, well, I'm going to show you.
Charles says putting an album together teaches the ins and outs of the music industry, as well as the consistency required.
There's 10,000 hours, there's repetitions, and things that you just got to do to grow. And the only way you fail is when you stop.
Both Arden and Charles are in the midst of making new music, Charles working from her apartment. She says she's happy her walls are thick enough.
My neighbors love me.
There been any complaints?
There haven't, no. Luckily, there's like cement in between.
Two artists putting Edmonton on the national stage. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
All right, so as we were enjoying that story, I asked Josh, how much snow are we going to get? And he just said, a lot.
Yeah, this is going to be, I mean, we had been talking about this almost all last week, that once the cold air started slamming in, Tuesday was going to be a significant snow event. Officially, we're going with 15 to 30. It's going to be somewhere in that range, I think. Minus 10 currently, as you look through the River Valley Sky Cameras, brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right, it's free. Cloudy skies. Had a few snowflakes flying around earlier in the day today. That was not the start of the storm. We'll show you where the storm is right now. It's just off to the south of us. Minus 4 for your daytime high today. So this will end up looking like a pretty average day for both the high and the low. Although most of this afternoon temperatures were more like about minus 7, minus 8. Every day up until today has been warmer than average. Today was right around average. The rest of the month is going to be painted in blue, well below average. Look at these temperatures. You're a good 25 or more degrees colder than last week. Highs of 7 or 8 last week. Instead, we're in the minus 15 to minus 20 range. Looks like maybe we get back into minus single digits around the 26th or 27th of the month, but probably staying below average right through to the end of the month and into early March. So there's that little bit of light snow that we had earlier in the day, now just north of the city. Here's the snowstorm. Heaviest snow is off to the south and southeast of Red Deer in through these purple areas. This will continue to drift its way north, and once it rolls into the Edmonton region, it sticks around right through until tomorrow evening. Cold warning, again, wind chill in the minus 40s there across the north, in through the red zones. Snowfall warning. In general, 15 to 30. There are a couple spots here back further to the northwest, up around Fort McMurray, where you may get closer to 10 centimeters of snow. And then in the purple zone, it's the combination of heavy snow and really strong wind, gusts 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. So near zero visibility at times on highways south and east of the Edmonton area. And here's a rough estimate of snowfall totals. These have been kind of bouncing back and forth between earlier today. This model had us closer to 20. Now it's got us closer to 35, which I think is a stretch. I think there's probably a bullseye here in east central Alberta where you potentially get 40 plus centimeters of snow. In the Edmonton area, it's looking like probably around 20, but we'll go with that 15 to 30 centimeter range. If we get over 19, that would be the heaviest single-day snowfall in February in Edmonton in the past 50 years. You look at the last half century, February 19, 1992, 19 centimeters. So we're on track for a historic February snowfall. Typically, these kind of snowfalls happen, late March, early April. As you get spring-like weather, that heat building up and all the moisture, and then the cold air slams in, it squeezes out all the snow. That's kind of what's happening with this setup after all the heat that we had last week. There's your snow sliding in by tomorrow morning. Sticks around all day tomorrow. Bit of a break tomorrow evening, and then another push there early Wednesday morning. By Wednesday afternoon, should actually start to see some sunny breaks in the Edmonton area. It's minus 10 in Edmonton right now. Wind chill currently sitting at minus 15. You're already close to the minus 25 to minus 30 range across the north. Northern Alberta, you're going to have wind chill minus 35 to minus 40 pretty much all day tomorrow. Here at Edmonton, rest of central Alberta, wind chill minus 25 to minus 30 all day, as temperatures will be dropping throughout the day. Highs near minus 20 for Wednesday, Thursday, and then back into the mid-minus teens by Friday.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Canada soared to its second gold medal of the Games this afternoon at Milano Cortina. Megan Oldham flew to the top of the podium in the free ski Big Air. The 24-year-old from Parry Sound, Ontario, captured her second medal of the Games with the golden performance. She already claimed bronze in slopestyle. Canada's Courtney Sareau picked up her third medal of the Milano Cortina Games today, clinching silver in the women's 1,000-meter short track speed skating event. The 25-year-old from Moncton, New Brunswick, finished with a time of 1 minute, 28.52 seconds. She may have 2 more chances to add medals to her tally. She'll compete in the women's 3,000-meter relay race Wednesday and the women's 1,500-meter race Friday. Canada now has 11 medals, 2 gold, 4 silver, 5 bronze. And Canada's women's hockey team has punched its ticket to the final thanks to a record-setting performance by captain Marie-Philippe Poulin. The 5-time Olympian broke the women's all-time Olympic scoring mark with her 19th goal and added a 20th minutes later to help Canada beat Switzerland 2-1. The defending champs will go for their 6th Olympic gold when they take on their bitter rivals, United States, on Thursday. People flocked to Winsport to celebrate the Olympic Games over the weekend. Team Canada Fan Fest allowed people to try their hand at several Olympic sports, including curling and biathlon. Events were also aired, and people gathered to celebrate Canadian athletes' achievements. A few medalists from past Olympic Games were also in attendance.
Just being able to cheer on Canada and really live the Olympic spirit, and seeing these kids come out and try curling for the first time was a pretty special feeling.
Just fun to be able to share the games with people of this country and people in this community.
FanFest is in different cities during the Olympic Games. Next weekend, it will head to Montreal. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, trade mission to Mexico.
We haven't actually leaned in to what CUSMA, our trade agreement, affords us.
Planning for changes to American trade and...
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Legendary actor Robert Duvall has died.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by Leading Ladies of Broadway with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Tumbler Ridge Secondary School has been turned back over to the local school district after RCMP completed its investigation into last week's deadly mass shooting. 5 students and a teacher were killed there last Tuesday. Police say the attacker had already killed her mother and half-brother at their home. The shooter took her own life as police arrived at the school. Investigators have now taken down yellow tape around the school. There's no timeline on when students may return. The man accused of killing 15 people at a Jewish festival on Bondi Beach in Australia made his first court appearance today.
He's just a client, and he's a client that needs to be represented, and we don't let our personal view get in the way of our professional obligations.
24-year-old Naveed Akram appeared via video. He did not enter any pleas to the 59 charges against him, including murder and committing a terrorist act. The proceedings focused on extending a gag order that protects the identities of some victims and survivors. In December, Akram was wounded, his father killed in a gun battle with police after the pair allegedly attacked a Hanukkah celebration on the beach. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc is in Mexico City, leading the largest Canadian trade mission to that country in decades. The Team Canada visit is meant to strengthen bilateral relations as U.S. President Donald Trump threatens to tear up the trilateral trade pact known as CUSMA. CTV's Rachel Ayalo reports.
Hundreds of delegates representing business and key sectors across Canada are taking part in the biggest trade mission to Mexico in decades. Led by Minister Dominic LeBlanc, Canadians are meeting with Mexican government officials, policy experts, and industry leaders.
It's a long time coming. We're in a continent that we share. This is an opportunity to go well beyond where we have been.
CUSMA protections have shielded most Canadian and Mexican commerce from U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs. But with the Americans threatening to scrap the trilateral trade pact in favor of separate agreements, Canadian stakeholders are looking at bilateral relations with Mexico in new light.
We haven't actually leaned in to what CUSMA, our trade agreement, affords us, and we just have not invested in building the relationships or educating ourselves or connecting those businesses.
Merchandise trade between Canada and Mexico has increased 12-fold since the original NAFTA came into force, but business leaders see potential to gain more market access.
With the current negotiation, a revision of USMCA CUSMA, it's important for us to be here on the ground and see if there's potential for our producers to expand their export to Mexico.
With the required joint CUSMA review coming in July, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced today he's tapped longtime senior public servant Janice Charette to be Canada's next chief trade negotiator to the United States. Charette will work closely with Mark Wiseman, Canada's new ambassador to the U.S., who just started in D.C. this week.
Well, of course, she's an incredibly experienced and seasoned bureaucrat and diplomat. This is exactly what we need.
Reacting to Charette's appointment, the Conservatives said Canadian workers need results and not another bureaucrat or negotiator. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Today was the last day for Canadian shoppers to use their Toys R Us gift cards as the company looks to wind down operations. Court documents show the toy store chain has more than $36 million in outstanding gift card obligations. A creditor protection proceeding is ongoing as the company struggles to pay bills. The judge has given Toys R Us permission to liquidate more of its remaining 22 stores if lease negotiations with landlords fail. Canadian researchers are identifying several key factors in children developing food allergies. CTV's Pauline Chen has more on risk factors and how to possibly mitigate them.
Eggs and milk are known to be common allergies early in a child's life.
Those tend to resolve by about age 6 to 8. In most individuals, about 80%.
But for the other 20%, food allergies can continue to pose a lifelong threat. McMaster researchers have been looking at 342 risk factors for babies developing food allergies.
International data, over 40 countries, and 2.8 million participants in 190 different studies.
They identified 4 factors as the most important: a family history of allergies, eczema as a baby, delayed introduction of common allergens such as eggs, peanut, or fish, and early use of antibiotics. Dr. Derek Chu says in some cases, antibiotic use in babies is essential, but in borderline cases, families and physicians should be aware it could be a factor in developing food allergies. Chu also says eczema is like a window to the immune system and an early indicator of a sensitive immune system.
What's showing in our studies that if you delay food allergen introduction, it actually increases the risk quite a bit, and consequently, if you introduce early, might protect.
Food Allergy Canada says this publication confirms that food allergy development in children is influenced by multiple factors. Early introduction and continued inclusion of allergenic foods, central to our Eat Early, Eat Often guidance, has shown promising results in reducing food allergy risk. Their website offers guidelines to introduce common allergens, like milk and eggs, to babies between 4 and 6 months of age, in the form of yogurt or mashed boiled eggs, for example, and make sure you keep them in your child's regular diet.
Risk factors are just risk factors. That means it's not a guarantee.
But he says being aware of them can allow us to monitor and tailor allergy prevention efforts for each child. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Robert Duvall, who earned a lasting place in American movie history with roles in The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and To Kill a Mockingbird, has died. Mark Barger has a look back at his life and career.
Robert Duvall was an actor's actor.
You know, if they're going to hire me, then let me do what I want to do. If not, hire somebody else.
From The Godfather.
They shot Sonny on the causeway.
To Apocalypse Now.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
To the TV miniseries Lonesome Dove.
Well, you ain't no more a cattleman than I am.
Duvall's versatility shown in more than 140 films and TV shows over a 6-decade career, including the brief but memorable role of Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Major Burns.
Duvall also played Major Frank Burns in the original film version of MASH.
What do you mean you want that show? It's a news show. It's not your department.
A detestable TV executive and network.
But you are Marine kids and can chew nails while other kids are sucking cotton candy.
And a warrior without a war in The Great Santini. That performance earned one of Duvall's 6 Oscar nominations for Best Actor. His lone win came in 1984.
I have a daughter.
playing a down-on-his-luck country music singer in Tender Mercies.
I think it's certainly some of the best work I've done, and I would challenge anybody to say differently.
2015 brought a 7th Oscar nomination, Best Supporting Actor for The Judge. But Duvall reveled in his time away from Hollywood on a 360-acre Revolutionary War-era farm in rural Virginia with his 4th wife, Argentine actress Luciana Pedraza.
You go day by day and you arrive at being grateful for what you had.
But it's what Robert Duvall gave to his legendary film career that will be his enduring legacy. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Still ahead, a labor of love.
They jokingly say that I'm the foreman, but we've got a great group of dads and we all work together to get it built.
How a simple idea turned into a neighborhood project, and
it'll be really good to get everybody back together and to just celebrate the love of hockey.
How the town of Taber is getting the community back together after an explosion at the local rink. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith was among the Albertans celebrating the Lunar New Year over the weekend. Smith dotted the I's of the Dragon to kick off the New Year's festival in Calgary. She highlighted the new strategic partnership Canada has forged with China.
There will be lots of opportunities for your community to shine and to help Alberta grow.
The Lunar New Year is tomorrow. It will mark the year of the horse. The horse is energetic, hot-tempered, and represents power. The town of Taber is putting on a hockey tournament to bring the community back together after an explosion at the local rink. The outdoor tournament comes a few months after an explosion at the Taber Community Center. The center is not usable, so organizers have decided to turn local streets into full-sized hockey rinks for teams to battle it out.
It'll be really good to get everybody back together and to just celebrate the love of hockey and the love of community together and look forward to the future of what the rebuild's going to look like.
The Play On Street Hockey Tournament will run March 27th and 28th. Dozens of kids received a free introduction to ice fishing this weekend.
It's a great opportunity, and I love when people do catch the fish, they share it so that the kids can see too. Yeah, I've seen 2 jackfish and a burbot caught so far.
Families gathered at Wabamun Lake for Kids Can Catch. The Alberta Conservation Association says almost 1,500 people signed up this year. 500 holes were drilled into the ice on the lake. All necessary equipment was provided. Mentors help teach kids how to handle the fish and keep them in the water.
We get a lot of people from different backgrounds, people from Canada as well as new Canadians, many of them trying ice fishing for the first time, many of them actually being on ice for the very first time. So it's really kind of a treat and a thrill for them to experience a real part of Canadiana.
Kids Can Catch started in Slave Lake in 2012. The association hosts dozens of events throughout the year with about 4,000 people participating. In PEI, it is Islander Day. Some families there are spending the holiday on skates. One community came together to build a rink complete with Zamboni that's become a much-beloved hangout this winter. CTV's Maria Saru reports.
A skate goes on, the buckle clicks shut, and a smile spreads. Kids in this PEI community are getting ready to take their first glide of the day. Good job, and they're doing it on a rink built by parents in the neighborhood.
It's pretty large for a backyard rink. It's huge.
Around 7 families teamed up on the project, splitting the cost and the labor. They say it took about $10,000 in total and 60 hours each to set up. This is the rink's 2nd season, and it doubled in size.
They jokingly say that I'm the foreman, but we've got a great group of dads and we all work together to get it built.
For about 100 kids who live here, it's a place to play.
You just get to skate around with your friends. It's a fun way to hang out. You could spend time with your friends and family. After school, it's a lot of fun, too, when it gets dark.
The ice stays busy even after the sun sets, thanks to LED lights, which are a newer addition. So is this second-hand Zamboni from northern New Brunswick. The dads gave it a little work and a new coat of paint and now take turns running it.
One of us will house the Zamboni in our garage for the week, and pretty much every evening we just go out and do a quick flood.
Parents add it's another way to get their children outside.
Especially this time of year where it's cold and not a lot of people want to be outside. It gives the kids something to do and gets them away from the screens.
And it helps that it's just down the street for some.
My house is over down there, a couple houses down.
Parents say they plan to keep making upgrades, for example, more mesh around the outside and better benches, so the rink improves every season.
Still ahead, excitement on the field.
You know, there's always hope, and so it's a new hope.
A glimpse of the Blue Jays on the diamond after a World Series heartbreak.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk.
On Tuesday, the difference between best before and expiry dates and how that could save you money, plus examining the darker side of the manosphere, including influencers using smart glasses to film their dates.
The boys of summer are in Florida. It's the first sight of the Blue Jays on the field since their World Series run last October. CTV's Sean Leathong is there with more on the excitement.
The team that Canada fell in love with is back. The first full day of workouts at spring training for the Toronto Blue Jays, and fans are gathering here in Dunedin just for a glimpse.
Still have the high of the World Series, the playoffs.
Anticipation and a lot of hope for the season.
You know, there's always hope, and so it's a new hope.
The last time fans saw this team together on the field was the heartbreaking extra innings loss in Game 7 of the World Series. Claudia Sanders came down from Toronto and is one of many fans who see this as a sequel to 2025.
When you lose, you learn a lot, and you come back even harder.
Jackie Ferraro and her kids are Blue Jays fans from South Florida who were inspired by what they saw last year.
It was a very emotional season. They were super, we had the highs with them and the lows with them. We were rooting them on every single day.
But now is the beginning of a new season, and the team has added new players like early fan favorite Japanese star Kazuma Okamoto.
I think he's really intriguing. I'm hoping that the power that he showed over in Japan is going to translate.
While the experience of last season has moved some players into the spotlight.
What got you about the Blue Jays?
Ernie Clement. Yeah, pretty much.
Players like Ernie Clement and Addison Barger are expected to play a bigger role, as being defending American League champions comes with expectations.
I love the expectations. That's why we do it. And I think the guys we've talked about it so much in the off season. It's nice to see everyone, really. It kind of just gets you back to what you were doing at a really, really high level last year.
The team's leader, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., is now the longest tenured Blue Jay and says he's confident this team can produce.
I think it's going to be more fun, but I'm actually more happy than last year. I mean, for whatever reason, I'm happy. I'm feeling great. I have good feelings about this year, and I know we're capable to do a lot of good things.
And while the team beat expectations last year, now the fans want more.
Maybe make it back to the World Series, dominate the Dodgers.
Just win it all. We want it all.
But today is just day one, with a long road back. So while today was full of hope with a bit of nostalgia, reality hits on Saturday when the Blue Jays start their preseason here at TD Ballpark in Dunedin. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Not easy to think about baseball when we've got this storm.
I just want to know how Sean Leathong got that gig. Hey,
that's pretty good. Yeah.
How many people did he have to rock, paper, scissors to get that one? All right, minus 14 tomorrow morning, minus 18 tomorrow afternoon. You're right, it's not going to... The last couple of weeks have kind of felt like, oh, okay, baseball season's around the corner. No, not so much over the next 24 hours. Snow starting mid this evening, heavy snow through the course of the day tomorrow, good 15 to 30 by the end of the day. Wind chill in minus 20s all day tomorrow, closer to minus 30 late in the day. And it gets even colder with highs of around minus 20 Wednesday, Thursday. So stay off the roads tomorrow if you can.
Good advice. Thanks, Josh. And thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, check out our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a great night.